Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction checking out another video reaction style. You know it. You know what to do. That's what you're here for. I am going to be checking out Coe Hill's newest track, "Broken Steps," and it features my good buddy, my best friend, one of my closest friends, Austin of the band Limbs. Go check them out if you haven't already. I love Limbs, but I also love Coe Hill, and go check out Doug's band, Coe Hill, which is this band. I am very excited if you have not checked out Coe Hill before. So Doug is the primary songwriter for this band. However, he gets different vocalists to feature on each one of the songs he writes. We had a great interview. I'll link it down in the description if you want to go check that out. But I was really intrigued by that, and that's originally why I had him on. And I just keep wanting to check out his material because he keeps getting cooler and cooler vocalists. So I feel like I have to do a reaction video to this one. So check out Broken Steps with me if you haven't already. If you have checked out Coe Hill and you checked out this new song, let me know down in the comments. But I'll spare you the expense of me talking some more. So let's go dive into Broken Steps.
Broken steps are what let me here.
Ooh.
It's what looks like it's been before. Running onto the line, it leaves you just can't ignore. So close to the edge, the ending we fear. Never let that second these broken steps are what let me
Ooh. This is such a different vibe from what Austin does in Limbs. Ooh. This is sick. I love this guitar riff. His chorus slaps. It's giving me like a very strong like Underoath feel, and I love that. Oh, this part's tight. Oh, that was sick. I like it. Guys, that was Coe Hill's newest song, Broken Steps, featuring Austin of the band Limbs. go check out both bands. They're rad. I've had them both on the channel. Not slight plug, just a slight plug. But getting back to Broken Steps, as I mentioned at the top of the reaction video, Coe Hill is kind of a collaboration between vocalists of bands and Coe Hill, which I've always kind of, again, appreciated from the sheer fact that oftentimes, when I hear collab tracks, I'm like, oh man, I'd love to hear more like vocals from the guest vocals, right? And I think this is kind of fills that need or void that I'm searching for in my life of music. And I think with each vocalist that he gets on, it's always an interesting concept to hear them out of their element per se. Just because I think that sometimes you look at these songs and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is gonna like you see the name and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be a heavier song, or this is going to be like similar to what they do in insert band here, And I think for the sheer fact that all of the songs, while are still heavy, I don't want to discount them at all for not being heavy. Some of them aren't, some of them are. But I think specifically for this song, it felt very different from what I would imagine Austin to do in Limbs. Like, I think that they have a specific style. They're definitely more into that like metal core, like they have a specific styling to their music, and I think pulling a vocalist out of their specific like element, quote unquote, is really nice and really different. And I think it gives me a different taste of what Austin can do as a vocalist out of the confines of Limbs. So I think the concept as a whole is something I really appreciate. And I think it just gives you a cool, like, musical exercise, I would imagine, from a vocalist perspective to try to do something different. And I also think from the sheer perspective of musicality, I just really love the way that Doug kind of crafts these instrumentals in regards to the songs. I just think the way that he does it, I think he has a way of keeping it modern, but also having that sort of nostalgia to it. And I think a lot of bands do that well, but I would say that Coe Hill is one of those bands in that level that does it super well, and it doesn't seem like cheesy. It's like you hear this and you're like, the immediate thought in my head was like Under Oath, and I love Under Oath. I grew up on them. They're one of the bands that kind of inspired me to really dive deep into music, and so I have a lot of just homage and like appreciation for what they do. And so to hear a song like this feels very much in that same vein, but I think it also is taking it in a very modern direction. You get a little bit more breakdowns. The production of the songs have a little have definitely more of a higher quality to them, and it just seems like the overall project itself is just really polished. And I think that's probably the best way I can describe it to people who aren't familiar with Coe Hill by any stretch. I think they just, I think collectively as the band does a great job of feeling like it is nostalgic, polished post-hardcore or whatever it is. And I think the songs very much fit the thought process of like the lyricism, the punch of the song. I just think overall it was a really fun experience, and I think Doug does a great job of really kind of taking the best out of vocalists. I think that that's kind of like the coolest thing about it. And he goes over the process on how those things happen. But I really appreciate the attention to detail on some of these songs, because I think for an artist to be taken out of their element in that way, but to still create a beautiful piece of art like this is always such a interesting process and an interesting way of going about things. And I think that the song came out awesome, and it definitely showed me a different side of Austin that I hope that will make its way into maybe future Limbs material. So I think it's like almost like an alternative universe, if that makes sense. Like, I think that you obviously have Limbs in the confines of what they do, but I think that Coe Hill is almost like that alternate path that, like, if like whoa, like what if Austin was the, vocalist of like an Under Oath-esque project? Like, what would it sound like? And I think that that's kind of like, it scratches that itch of like new Limbs material, but also at the same point, like, pulls it in a different direction. I think hopefully, I would assume, will spotlight Coe Hill a little bit more in the things that Doug does, because God, it's great. So always want to give the salutes to what I can do for Coe Hill because Doug is crushing it, and he's just an awesome dude. So I wanted to show some love. So please go check out Coe Hill. Links will be in the description. But let me know what you think about Broken Steps. Did you like the vocalist? Who would you love to see on an upcoming Coe Hill track? Because I think for me, I know this might be a stretch, and obviously looking on the screen gives me a little bit more of an idea, but I would love to hear like Lucas from Holding Absence. I think that'd be kind of rad. I know that's a very much a stretch, but hey, crazier things have happened. So I feel like Lucas would be pretty rad to hear on a song like that. I think this would be really cool. So who knows? We don't know, but either way, you should drop it in the comments, and who knows? Maybe Doug will work his magic. We'll see what happens. But definitely go check out Coe Hill if you haven't checked out Limbs. Go do that too. I love Austin. So two homies, one video. You know I had to do it. That was not a reference to something else. Please don't go look for it. That's a terrible reference. But either way, I love both the bands Limbs and Coe Hill, so please go show them some love. And if you enjoyed this reaction video, share, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way. I'm trying to create an awesome music community of people that just genuinely love music. So if you'd like to be a part of that project, then feel free to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Peace.